What's going on, guys? Delicious White Tiger here, and I represent the average Call of Duty player. And I get a lot of questions, like not from making videos on YouTube, but just in general. People asking me like, "How do you do accents? How do you do it? I want to know how to do accents because it's so cool." Well, I'm gonna try my hardest in this video to show you how to do some accents and kind of work through it. So we're gonna split this gameplay in half, 5 minutes, because the gameplay is 10 minutes. We're gonna do 5 minutes on this video and then 5 minutes on the video when I post it next. And so first off, we're gonna talk about the steps leading up to be able to do accents and imitate people and stuff like that. So the most important thing that you want to know when you're imitating somebody is you don't want to try to sound like them straight off the bat. Okay, first thing you want to do is you want to listen to a lot of like their talking. So for example, when I'm doing like, if I was going to do an Owen Wilson imitation or a Bear Grylls imitation or an FPS Russia imitation or a, White Boy 17 imitation, I would listen to a bunch of their videos or movies or whatever, and I would, pay attention to things they say. So you listen to things they say that make them unique. So for example, like for if you're doing Owen Wilson, he obviously is in Marley and Me. So Marley, that's something he says a lot in that movie. So that's one thing right there that he says that's unique to him. And if you say that, a lot of people are going to think automatically right off the bat that you're talking about Owen Wilson or you're being like Owen Wilson, and then in their head they're going to register you acting like Owen Wilson. So already, right off the bat, you already sound a little bit more like the person you're trying to imitate. So the next thing you want to do is you want to measure the level of your voice to the level of their voice. So compare it. So obviously, let's say I was doing a Bear Grylls imitation. He has a deeper voice. So I don't have that deep of a voice compared to Bear Grylls. So let's say I was, and Bear Grylls has two different kinds of voices, by the way. He has like his commentary voice, and then he has like his interview voice. So let's just say like, okay, so obviously if I just throw in a British accent, I don't sound that much like Bear Grylls. I sound like I'm British, but I don't sound like Bear Grylls. So if you make it a bit deeper, you sound like Bear Grylls' commentary voice. This is what he does on Man vs. Wild. And then if you talk like this, you kind of sound like him when he's getting his interview done. I'm at the, I went over to my mother's house and we had bacon and survived on pig meat. And, so that's basically what, see, I lowered my voice and I kind of made it, a little bit deeper. And then I compared both of the types of his talking, the commentary and the non-commentary, and put those together, and it sounded like more like Bear Grylls. So adding what I was putting onto saying, like step 1 and step 2, so things they say and way they say, and like the way they say it, deepness of their voice, putting that together, I can make a pretty good Bear Grylls comparison. If I came up to you and I said, I'm going to cross this large glacier, and then I'm going to drink my own pee, you're probably going to know I'm talking about Bear Grylls, because he doesn't say glacier, he says glacier. So you're probably going to know I'm being Bear Grylls. You're probably going to say, oh, that's Bear Grylls, and it's going to be pretty obvious to you. Now, if we were doing Owen Wilson, on the other hand, your voice would obviously have to be a little bit higher, and you'd have to say, like, Marley, come on. Come here, Marley, let's go. Let's go crash some weddings, Marley. And if you've seen Wedding Crashers, then you know what that's from. But that's an Owen Wilson right there. So it's not too hard to do. It's basically just reliant on, can you lower your voice or raise your voice to their level and pick out words they say in their vocabulary quite often that those words are distinct to them. It is really hard to do accents. I find it really hard for some people who sound normal, it's really hard to do. Some people who, don't sound normal, that's easier. So I recommend starting off with people who don't sound like normal people. Like find someone like Bane, Bear Grylls, a Joker, something like that. Someone who, or Batman, everyone can do Batman. Find something like that, because when you find, that the people who sound more like humans, or like not like humans, the people who sound more normal are going to be a lot harder to, imitate, because you've got to like change your voice like slightly and like do little tiny things to make it different. But so yeah, that's basically my best advice. Next part of the video, I'm going to go over a couple imitations and what you can do to sound like this, and basically how to fool someone even if your accent isn't too good. So thanks for watching this video. Part 2 will be coming up shortly, and I'll see you next time.